quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. They'll begin the drive with a run by Diller. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in a win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout the ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how...
He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown with top. On the year. And the Eagles go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At their own 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On play action, Cousins. He'll buy some time right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Somehow I feel he's going to hear the same thing when he gets to the sidelines after this series. So close to the 1st down marker. Just tuck it and run for the 1st down. No sense trying to throw it downfield. And that one falls incomplete.
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
They'll run for it. Cook. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Dalvin Cook turned away on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. 9 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Ready? Hey, check that, street.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
18 Ready.
They go play action with Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Okay,
so the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their 3rd in a row. And the question, is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago. Even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Come on.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he will find his man Samuel. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great work, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Kenedawagu now out of his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. That quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that 3rd down snap.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And able to break break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Hurts. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Sanders shaking and baking. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them. So I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Nwangu now from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. He's at the 30. 10, 5. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row. We're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can he maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Brandon McManus set to kick off.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
At their own 33-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
A gain there of 30 big ones.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 41 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this throw caught left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. From the red zone now, Cousins. He's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. K.J. Osborne, a 16 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get a bit closer. McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and it's now 35-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. Fast footwork by Sanders. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And he's going to go down. They get to it back at the 40. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Nwangu now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Good route there.
Throwing on second and long. Cousins. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this time.
And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to the ground, Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Hey, no, easy. Clark.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 17-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And, it'll be intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's
56